Training is tremendous when it's trodden down with information that's productive and insightful. Whatever. I have no idea where we went with that. Anyway, hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing,
fantastic.
Blake?
I have a delicious drink.
What are you drinking today?
Today it's Diet Mountain Dew.
That's kind
of your people go-to. Ridicule, but listen, I'm old and I'm trying to be healthy, which by drinking Diet Mountain Dew is not the way to go.
You know, it sounds like there's been some issues, people harping on the Diet Mountain Dew. Maybe that's like a
sign?
No.
I am someone who just doesn't care.
That's right. I'm having water, and I don't even care.
Oh, hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Does your nose ever bleed up that much?
Oh, wow.
Criminy, jeez.
Wow. Hey, so today we're going to talk a little bit about
We are going to talk about training, yeah. Training is something that I have quite a bit of experience in.
Yeah, we love training.
But let me tell you one of my biggest pet peeves with training. So one of my biggest pet peeves is I actually belong to groups on social media sites where we talk about training.
Yeah.
And one of the things that kind of drives me crazy is people are so often, hey, give me some curriculum. And the problem with that...
Who are the leaders out there? Just in case people are curious about training.
Well, you have ATD, which is the Association for Talent Development.
Yes.
Right? They've written a book called Telling Ain't Training. And it's a great book. It actually does give you the ability to structure your training so it's effective. It's not focusing so much on the curriculum, which of course is a huge part of training. But so often, trainers get so focused and bogged down by the curriculum and making sure that they get all the information out there, right? How many times have you ever gone to a training and or a lesson of some sort and someone says, oh, I wasn't able to cover everything?
All the time.
All the time, right? And the problem with that is we try to throw so much information at people that they actually don't learn. How often have you walked away from those saying, oh man, I learned so much today?
Not often at all.
Not very often, right? So the problem that we run into is trainers are trying to get people to learn, but they're doing it in an ineffective and monotonous way.
Yeah, training can be super boring. I mean, we've all been in the traditional meetings where you go in and it's like a sexual harassment training, right? And like, it's the same thing over and over, and you don't take anything away, and it's not very fun, and it's very scripted. And when things are scripted, they're not engaging, right? Just like a great culture. You can't force a great culture. You have to involve the people. And when there's that human interaction, just like in a training, it makes it way more engaging. And I think that the learner learns a whole heck of a lot more as well.
And I think that's one of the big parts of actually having a successful training is that you learn more on, or you train more on the learner. What do they already know? Let's build upon what they already know. Totally. Listen, I already know that I should not slap Jared's butt at work. As hard as it is.
I am okay with it.
And I am talking about
it. But society is not.
Okay, yeah, well, that went a little south. Anyway. So you can focus on training, but training really more than anything is just teaching something someone already knows, and it's something that you're training to do. It's repeating the same thing over and over. But if you throw some instruction in there, and again, this is something that they call ATD, that's the, again, Association for Talent Development. They talk about having instruction, and instruction is building upon training. And that basically means that I'm training you how to do something, but with instruction, I'm teaching you how to not only do that thing over and over again, but also you got to improvise, right? And the way that I kind of look at this is in our military. Soldiers are trained very specifically how to do certain things. They're very regimented. They know exactly what to do in certain situations, but occasionally that doesn't always work out, right? Emergencies happen, things take place, and so they have to improvise. And that's really what instruction means. It means to be able to generalize upon beyond what you're taught. So you can learn something, but you still have to use that brain that God gave you, right? Yeah. You have to be able to think and improvise in those situations.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And I think maybe a little bit better than instruction would be education. So education is building upon instruction where you're learning things for the long haul. And it challenges the way that you historically do things. So when I got my master's degree, I loved it because it was very application based. And I would go to school and I went to statistics class, and instead of saying, here's the theory of statistics and getting a piece of paper and a pencil and writing out these long equations, it was literally download this add-on in Excel, put these numbers in these cells, and it will give you the answer, right? Yeah. It was very real-world application, which was fantastic, which modeled the way that I now do accounting and statistics and math. I use systems that make things easier. And in fact, I actually had somebody come to me the other day and said, hey, how do I do this math problem? And it was about mortgages. And you know what I said? Go online and get a mortgage calculator.
Yeah.
Like, it's instruction, but to the next level of thinking for yourself, all right, how can we do this? Well, I modeled my education in a way that I can find answers through other people and other sources that might be a lot easier.
Yeah. And so, as you've kind of talked about, it's building upon something, right?
Totally.
That education means building upon your future. It means being able to learn for your future situations, such as doing a mortgage, things like that, right? At the end of the day, what it really comes down to is we need to teach people to learn. Mm-hmm. It's not just about training someone. It's not just about instructing them or educating them. It's teaching them to learn. And obviously that's what we do from a really young age. When kids go to school, one of the things we try to focus on is teaching them how to learn, how to study, how to do those things, because obviously it has a much more long-lasting effect.
Yeah.
We as trainers, if you are in the process of training people, you have to quit worrying so much about the curriculum. Yes, it's important. It is something that you have to have, right? Else you're really... it's just like me standing in front just doing movie quotes for a while, trying to hope that hits home to someone, right?
It will.
At some point, maybe. But really what you're trying to do is you're conditioning people to learn, open their brains, helping them to start thinking for themselves. And as you teach people to learn, that's when that training really starts to stick. That's when it actually becomes a successful experience. You think about anything that you've ever learned in life, you were taught how to learn. And so when I put together a training, I try to focus on what do they already know? Let's build upon that. Because if I'm teaching Jared how to put the lid on that cup, he probably already knows that, or can at least figure that out for himself, right? So it's more than just showing them how to do something. It's teaching them how to be prepped and open for learning.
Well, I just want to say, Blake, that with Raphia and cultural disruption, I have loved learning about new things that can disrupt a culture and really improve your business and your leadership styles. And so we hope that you have learned with us and not just felt like you've been trained. We hope this isn't the stereotypical class where you go in and sit down and you're like, whatever, but like you leave engaged and like, holy cow, I want to be part of that. So next time you hold a training, try to disrupt it by involving more learning and less training. Get away from the script and focus more on the individual needs of the class and the participants and how you can put a spin on it that will help take their learning to a new level.
Yeah, I think it's about telling a story. But telling a story. Tell a story, and that will help people learn. They associate better. But, hey, there's nothing perfect in the world.
Except for you.
That's a given. Just kidding. But we can learn, right? We can process and begin to make things a little bit better for people.
It's true.
Right? Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. Don't forget to subscribe.